everyone. How's TC going for you all? Exciting? Tiring? Super tiring? My toes are killing me. All right, before we even start, we have a few fun questions for you guys. Who loves data prep? Who loves data prep? 1%, 2%? Good enough.
Who hates data prep?
More
Much
hands.
more.
All right, another twist on the question. Who loves fixing spelling errors?
And who loves deduping data?
Nobody likes deduping? All right. Who loves scanning millions and millions of rows and grouping your data? Oh, there you go. You're my hero. All right.
That's right, no one loves to do all those. That's why we are here to help you. I'm Henry, and I'm the first full-time dev in the prep team. I've been building all kinds of features in prep. And before joining Tableau, I was a machine learning engineer before. Back then, I was actually a customer of Tableau. When I was doing visualization with Tableau or building machine learning models, one big issue I had was data preparation. I had to write all sorts of Python scripts or Circle scripts to clean my data. So I always wish I could have a good tool for data prep. It would be great if it can be as visual and direct as Tableau. So that's one of the motivation for me to build prep, to clean my data in a visual way. And today in this section, we will show you how you can use prep to do grouping and matching and clustering to clean your data in a visual way.
And I'm Deepthi. I'm a developer on Tableau Prep team as well with Henry. I'm not the first one, not the first few dozen one. But I've been here for a while, and I've worked on various stacks for cleaning, transformation, and now augmented data prep. I've been in industry for around a dozen years now, and throughout it's been about data, be it data engine or data connectivity, authentication, security, bunch of ORM stacks that we shipped with different products when it was the fad, and a lot of tools and services around data cleaning and transformation. Now, why did I take 30 seconds of your time to walk through my career history? It's just to emphasize the fact that throughout working on all these data stacks, what I found most motivating was actual data prep job. Nobody loves data prep, except two here. But we all have to do it. We extracted data from somewhere because we wanted to do some analysis on top of it. We wanted to get some results, some insight into our data. Yet, 80% of our time is gone scanning through rows, writing queries, writing procs, looking at that data, getting some patterns out of it, and analyzing it. We, in Tableau Prep team, understand that pain firsthand. We build Tableau Prep with that in mind. Here, everything is visual and everything is direct. Connectivity to shaping, to cleaning, to extracting, and publishing. For this particular session of ours, we are going to focus mainly on cleaning. We are here to show you how you can perform quick cleaning on your data, make in-place updates. We'll talk a little bit about group and replace model, and then Henry will walk you through clustering and many more interesting things. First, let me take you through a whirlwind tour of prep, just in case a few of us have not had time to play with the app yet. This will help you follow the talk later. So this is Tableau Prep tool in all its glory. Here is the very familiar connection pane. This is very much like Tableau. We are working heads down, adding more and more data sources to it. You can create a connection to your data source by as easy as clicking on that plus button you see on the top. All the live connections to your flow are listed right on bottom of that. You can search for your databases on the combo box, and we list out all the tables and procs just below that. On top of Tableau Prep tool is the flow pane. Here is where you go about shaping your data. Bring in your data sources in here, bring in your tables here, use drag and drop to create joins and unions, aggregate your data, sum your data, get mean, median, whatever you need. Go about making your rows into columns, pivoting your data, create your extracts right here, or publish it to server. In the center of Tableau Prep tool is the profile pane. Here we give you a hexagon view of your data. Here we give you the shape of your data. This is where we'll interact most of our session today. Most of our cleaning and transformation happens here. Below is the data grid pane. Sometimes it's nice to see your data in granular format, row by row, and you can go and fix things there. Here is the changes list. This is a very interactive audit trail of the actions you perform on the current node. This is interactive in the sense you can change the order of your actions, you can edit, remove, and do a bunch of things in here. All right, so that was about Tableau Prep tool. Now let's get back to what we came in here for, cleaning. What is the big problem space we face in cleaning? This is just a sliver of that. Mostly it is data standardization and data hygiene. It becomes especially fun if you've brought in data from different kinds of data sources. Some of your data is in cloud, in a very big data format. Some of it is in Excel and text. Some of them is live, and some of them is extract. You have various synonyms of data because it's been entered in various parts of the world. Somebody likes abbreviations, somebody likes full names, and somebody just likes fun characters in there. Then you have data hygiene issues. We have outliers. We have white spaces and special characters. We have casing issues. We have invalid data. We have nulls. We have spelling errors and a bunch of those problems. You know it better than I do. All right, let's try to understand this with a demo. Everything becomes easier with a demo to understand. So let's go through a demo. All right, here I have preloaded for you a very fun data set. It's about inventory, about Lego parts. And I've created a demo node, which is completely clean. As you can see, all data here is clean. Just kidding, no data is clean. All right, for my case study, I have 3 problems. First, I have my inventories coming in from various vendors. They have not all of them have sent it. I need to analyze what are the set ranges missing so that I can ping those vendors back and I can tell them to send those inventory parts soon. Second, I want to do some fun, quick cleaning right in there, look at the data, fix it. Like somebody thought it was fun to enter epsilon in front of electric. Or put your set name in braces, right? And third, as we just talked, my data is coming from various vendors. All of them have entered their own parts in their own fashion. All of this is valid, but I don't want this level of detail. I don't want this level of granularity. I want to sum up all my aircraft fuselage into one and see how many parts have come in. All right, back to problem space number 1. I have to see the ranges of set that has not come in yet. Fun. What do I see here? Somebody thought it is a good idea to put all the set number in braces. Or maybe they were just extracting from text, splitting the data, and it came in braces. What should I do? I cannot scan them as numbers. I can go and look at 867 discrete values. I can look at them, manually note down what is missing, and ping those vendors. Or I can just make them into integers and see. First problem first. Let's remove the braces. So on top of profile pane, there is a very interactive column header. You see, there is column name here. There are discrete number of rows here. You can do your sorting here. You can search for your values, or you can do some quick cleaning. What do we have here? We have filter. You can filter on calcs. You can filter on wildcat matches and nulls. You can group and replace your thing. But I'll not go in much detail for this submenu because we'll talk a lot about this soon. We have some quick cleaning steps. You can split your values. You can vertical split your columns automatically or write some complicated custom split algorithms. You can rename field. You can create calculated field, or you can remove this field. Let's go back to what I need, quick cleaning. I have a bunch of options here, uppercase, lowercase, remove letter, remove numbers, remove punctuations. There you go. And as easy as that, all the braces are gone. Are these numbers yet? I thought they are numbers, but Tableau Prep is telling me this is still string. This is still string because it came in as string. We in Tableau Prep don't make an assumption that since this data looks like integer, we are not going to auto-change it to integer for you. We have given you an option though. On top of the menu, you have data types listed here. We support numbers, number whole, we support date and time, we support date and strings, and we support a bunch of data roles, which is a very interesting topic, but we have a separate session altogether for it in the afternoon, just in case you want to go attend. Let's go back to what I need here. I make it numbers. There. As easy as that, all my values have become numbers. They have come into a continuous view. I can take a quick scan here, and I can see 150,000 to 200,000 set numbers have not come in. I can ping those vendors, tell them to send it ASAP. I can see these. These guys have sent me, but they have not sent me everything. So as easy as that, my first problem space is solved. Okay, so next, fun. Let's look at some of these values. Okay, I wanted to do some quick cleaning. I wanted to do some in-place update here. That's easy. I can go here, double-click on this. As fast as that, I get a text box right on top of my data. I can go remove that epsilon, and as easy as that, it became clean. Similarly, I can come here for folks who like context menus. You have context menu in there. Go edit value, remove your braces, and there. You can do in-place inline edit there. Second problem solved. Okay, third problem, too much granularity in my data. What should I do about that? I go, I select, shift select all these values, and I deselected it. That's fun, that comes with Mac and Windows usage. All right, there you go. You have your context menu. You can group the value right in here. And easy as that, all my aircraft values have been grouped. Not all, a few left. Okay. You see this paperclip icon here. This just denotes that in this profile, this column values has more values grouped to it. I have an interactive audit trail of all the action I did on this demo node right now. I can go and click on this. Say for some reason, I wanted to remove my braces before I remove my epsilon. I can go, I can change the order of it. For some reason, I thought epsilon were supposed to be there. They were not kidding. I can just go ahead and I can remove this action. And if you see, epsilon is back in my data. I can go to group and replace. So basically, there are edit options on your audit trail. You can make changes. You can look at the changes that you did. I'll explore one of those. Let's click on this, group and replace. When you click on group and replace, it opens up an extension pane right in your profile. Click here, and you see what happens here. So this is the remap panel of the extension pane. What we have here, when you select a group, you have all the values that are grouped to this group. This is interactive too. I forgot some of the aircrafts to be added here. I can go and can add them to the group. Oops, I added alligator. I go back, I can remove that from the group. You can add more values to the current group. You can remove the values from the current group. What if you wanted to create more groups? You can go ahead, select right there while the extension pane is open, and you can create more groups right in here. Once the extension pane is open, any groups that you create are audited as a part of one audit trail. Say, for some reason, you want to create a new audit trail. You've been doing this grouping for a while, and you want to know what you did in what step, and you wanted to create a new audit trail for it. You can go ahead, go to the menu, create a new group and replace manual selection, and it creates a new audit trail. You go ahead, keep grouping your data. Okay, let's go back to our slide now. 5. This is fun positioning for us. All right, so this is the case study we went through. Next few slides, I'm just going to breeze through it. I've put whatever we talked about right now. You can go ahead, try it out on your own, give us the feedback in Data Village, or go to our blog, give us more feedback on that. All right. Now, this is about the data that is in dataset. What about the values that are not in dataset? If you remember the case study that I said, my first problem was that all my parts have not come in from vendors yet. So should I wait vendor by vendor and then go creating my data rules? Or can I create my data rules and my groups right here so that when they pour in, it lights up? That is what Outofsample is about. Outofsample values are the values that are currently not in your data set, but you're expecting to see them soon. It's very useful if you want to set up cleaning rules and mapping on those values beforehand. It works very well with prep server scheduling. All right, let's understand this better with our demo too. Cool. We are back in our group and replace panel. Let's say I have a lot of Lego parts coming in. I have zebra tails coming in, I have lion heads coming in. I don't want to see animal by animal count of my Lego parts. I want body parts as one. I go ahead and I create body parts. Okay, I did a search for body parts. Henry will talk to you much in detail about that. Go click on your plus button and add body parts. And as easy as that, a new value is added. I scroll down, I can't find it because of alphabetic order of it. Go search for it. There is your body part. And if you see, it's been marked with a red dot. What this red dot says that this value is not a part of your data set yet. We can create new groups on top of it. Let's search for all the alligator parts. I can go and group my alligator to it and say I'm expecting zebra tails to come in soon. As easy as that, I can pre-create my rules for the data I'm expecting. Done. Henry will talk much in detail about more of gotchas and to-dos with Outofsample, but this is about it. Let's go back to the slide. Here I've put it, the Outofsample, try it out, give us feedback, what works, what doesn't work for you, and I hand it over to Henry for taking you through clustering.
Thank you, Dipti. So as mentioned earlier, I was a machine learning engineer before. When I was working on the grouping features in Prep, data clustering came to my mind. So we were wondering if we can use data clustering algorithms to automatically group values for us. So we try, and eventually we build this auto group feature, which we call clustering. You saw how Dipti group values manually. It was not fun, if not painful, to watch that. It is okay to do it for a small part of values, but imagine if she needs to go through thousands of domains to group them together, it would be tedious. So here's where clustering comes in. If you have used clustering analysis in Tableau, you must know what clustering is. Clustering is a task of grouping objects in such a way that objects in the same group are similar to each other than to those in other groups. So let's see what options we have for clustering values in Prep. First of all, we have group by pronunciation, which can group values that sound alike. For example, phonetic and phonetic. They sound exactly the same, but the first one is apparently wrong. Well, it turns out it's not so apparent for a non-native speaker. It is a common mistake that non-native speakers like myself would make. I must have made similar mistakes before, but now I don't need to worry about it because Prep can fix it automatically. Secondly, we have group by common characters. It is very common to see human names in different orders. For example, first name, or last name, comma, first name, depending on different locales. So Prep can group all those values with common characters together to fix this issue. Last but not least, grouping by spelling helps you group values that are spelled alike. This is very useful for fixing typos. It's super easy for people to type in one more, one less, or one incorrect character in your word. So, for example, when you type in Seattle, you might miss one of the T's. We all make this kind of mistake, but you don't necessarily want to fix them by yourself. But luckily, here in Prep, grouping by spelling could help you solve this. Now let's take a look at how they work in the app. So from the last demo, we've seen the Lego part dataset. And here we are bringing in two orders table. We union them and join them back to the previous cleaning result. Now, oftentimes, when you do a union, there are all kinds of consistency in your data. There might be schema difference or different formats, a different structure. Now let's take a look at this union that we just made to see if we have those issues. Let's take a look at the first order table. Looks like it has part name, customer name, city, state, and zip code. Pretty normal. And let's take a look at the second table. Looks like it has the exact same set of columns, so no schema difference. Good. But wait, there are commas in this customer name column, which I don't remember seeing in the first table. Let's go back and double check. Right, there's no comma in this table. So there are customer names in different formats in two tables. Let's try to fix it in the cleaning result node. So in the column header, we've seen this cleaning action menu. In the group and replace menu, we have manual selection and all those auto group features that we just mentioned. So since all the names have common characters in them, we are going to try to use the group by common character algorithms here. Just click it. And it's done. You can see that Aaron, Wang, and Wang, Common, Aaron are grouped together. And there are many more names that have common first name, last name are grouped together. For example, Adam Parker and Parker, Adam are grouped together. Good. Now let's take a look at this city column. We have Aberdeen in Mississippi and Abilene in Texas. What is this Abilene? I'm not quite sure about it, so I'm going to go ahead and Google it. Abilene. Guess what? Google is suggesting Abilene for Abilene. So this is apparently a typo, how we can fix it. We've seen how we can do inline edit, so we can do inline edit to fix it. Easy peasy. But what if you have hundreds of typos in this column? You definitely don't want to scan through all of them and fix them. So now let's see if the clustering algorithm can help us here. Let's remove our inline edit first. And then go back to our familiar group and replace menu. Since we are trying to fix typo, let's try grouping by spelling. Click that. And it's done. We can see that Abilene and are grouped with Abilene. And there are many more cities with typos that grouped together, say Akron and Akron. Cool. Problem solved. The last thing we're going to look at is this part name column, which DeepT just did grouping on manually. There are like 5,000 unique domains here. You definitely don't want to go through all of them and group them together. Can clustering help here? Let's see. Let's go back to our best friend, group and replace menu. We have tried manual selection, group by common characters, group by spelling. Let's try group by pronunciation this time. Click on that. And it's done. You can see that all the aircraft fuselage values are grouped together exactly like what DeepT was trying to do in manual group. And similarly, you can add more values to the group by selecting them, or if you don't want these values in this group, you can remove them. And if you want a more representative name for this group, you can change the group name, say aircraft fuselage. That's basically how clustering works in Prep. Let's go back to the slide. Now, we all know Lego sells their product to all the places in the world. So it's very likely that you might see a French city name or a Spanish city name in the orders table. If you don't know all those languages, how could you fix issues in them? No worries. All clustering algorithms in Prep work on multiple languages. Group by common character work on all languages. And group by pronunciation and spelling work on Latin-based languages. Okay, we've seen how clustering could help us clean our data. They work in certain scenarios, but not quite well in other scenarios. So we will be adding more algorithms to try to help on more scenarios. And we'll be adding threshold control so you can control how strict the rule is to determine a group. Now we've talked about all sorts of cleaning features in Prep. It's time for you to get your hands dirty. But before that, we have some tips for you to make your life easier. The first tip is, if you want to edit your current group and replace action, trigger editing from the change list, not from the column header. You It might be easier if you can see it in the app. Let's switch to the app. So for example, if you want to edit the group action you just created, go to the change list menu and then click edit. You can make changes on the groups you just created. Or if you want to create a separate action to track different grouping rules that you create, you can go to the group and replace menu and do manual selection to create a new action. Then you can manage them separately. The next tip is the search box and the add value box in the column header are at the exactly same place. Let's see. So here, if you click on the add value, the plus button, a text box show up for you to add value. And if you click on the search icon, the text box shows up at the same place. It's sometimes confusing because they're at the same place. But there are background text telling you what this text box is about. So it helps a little bit. Another tip is if you don't see your out-of-sample values after you add it, you can search for it. You probably have seen this in a demo we had, but I'm going to show it again. So if you want to add body parts here, and you don't see it in the profile because it starts with B, you can search for it. There you go. And another tip is also about out-of-sample values. Out-of-sample values won't show up in the next node because it's not part of your data set yet. It's just the value you added to set up rules for mapping and grouping. Once the value shows up in your data set, it will appear in all the nodes. Lastly, we have a small tip for you on the clustering algorithms. If you have a chance to try out all these clustering algorithms, you might notice it doesn't always give you exactly what you want. So you can try out all different algorithms, and then if they don't give you exactly what you want, you can edit all the groups that are created by the clustering algorithm to get to what you exactly want. All right, that's all we have. Is there any questions?
Yeah, go ahead.
Please.
I have a question, or actually a comment about the prep, use of prep. You showed up the way to clean group minor atoms, right, in the column. If the column is very long, the list is long, the good practice is to double check all the group atoms to make sure I group them correctly. But if the group item is on the bottom of the long list, I may not have time, patience to scroll the long list down.
Yes.
Sort this column to list the group item on the top or filter them. I don't
Yes.
want to see the ones I didn't group.
Yes, we have a coming feature to let you sort your column by if you have a groups or not. So all the groups will be sorted at the top.
Yeah, that is an active ask. Another thing is that on our blog, you can vote up your requests. So we have lists of features. You can request your feature there, and then you can vote up your feature. We have monthly releases, so if something is very important for you, we'll work on it first.
Yeah, another issue I noticed in the UI is that the lower right corner is called what exactly? The lower right corner.
Yeah?
Data grid.
Width of this column.
You cannot scroll through the width of the column.
I cannot adjust the width.
You cannot adjust the width.
Go back to UI.
You can adjust the width, I think. Go ahead.
I think you can.
No,
Like this one?
not this one. The middle one.
Oh, this one. I think so. Yeah. Please.
Curious if you can cluster by more than one column. So for instance, in healthcare, we have 3 unique identifiers. And we may have typos in name, or also maybe there's like a missing 0 or missing digit or an incorrect digit in the medical record number. So I'm curious if you can use any of those clustering functions on not just one column compared to another column, but a set of columns compared to a second set of columns.
You mean you can create groups based off of one column on the other column, right?
So I have 2 separate columns. Each row is one patient, and I have multiple identifiers for that patient. And I have 2 data sources which may not match, but I know that I want one patient set to, I want to see the clusters by the patient column. And so I have a name from one data source and a name from a second data source, but I don't want to just compare those names. I want to compare both the name and the med record number, because they may be errors in either. I'm curious if you could compare 2 columns with your other functions, or if it's limited to one column to another, so I'd have to compare the name and then independently compare med record. Realistically, I want them to be paired.
So one thing you could do is, I think you're basically trying to join 2 tables, and you want to look at both identifier and compare them, right?
Yes, I guess we could merge them and run the function and then sort them back out.
So actually, in our journal, you can decide what you want to join on. If you put both of the identifier columns here, you can compare them side by side. Is that what you want?
So you join them first and then you compare them side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More questions? Please.
Let's say your name came in last comma first, the other one is first last.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that it can transpose a field?
There's no option for that in the UI, but you can write calcs for that.
Yeah. I'd have to maybe parse out
Yeah.
last name, first name, create it back together, and then put them back together, because you could have the same patient, but kind of feeding off this guy's question, I could have 2 John Smiths with a different date of birth. I don't really want to group them together if they're different people.
I see.
So can you cluster them using multiple fields, a name and a date of birth, to say whether or not to group them based on 2 fields?
So there are various ways to do that. One you can use is create calculated columns off of your 2 columns, or you can just create a merge on 2 columns. You'll have to play around a bit and see which one works for you. Yeah, so there are ways to do that. Like you don't have to specifically parse, make it 2 column. You can try playing with calculator or merge, custom merge. That might help. Yeah.
Does your cleanup allow you to do a simple find and replace, like a set of characters, you just want to replace them with something else, like you do in Excel?
I think you can do a find and replace, as far as I remember.
It doesn't work as in Excel, but if
Yeah.
you use the search button, it allows you to search whatever you want, and you can select all and then change the
Replace them.
value to the one you like.
You have to change them manually, like if I have thousands of
You can select, search for a certain value you want, and then select everything there, and then change it in one time. Like not.
one at a time.
No, change everything at the same time.
Multi-select and
Yeah.
replace.
Please. That's a good question.
Yeah, it does. Some of it contains starts.
It doesn't support all the regex,
Yeah.
but you can search start with, end with, or contains.
Yeah. You can do a regex match on the calc column. Calc is very helpful. Like if you look at create calculated columns, here you can do a regex match and search. You create a field for yourself and then go filtering on that. So, yeah.
Please.
Just before you define some rules in order to do some clusters with different names, if you want to change some, because you disagree with some of the records that are associated together,
Mm-hmm.
if you break some records, does it break the entire rule and it becomes static, or do you keep the rule working? And I try to understand how dynamic it is if somebody wants to do some customizations after you build your cluster, how it works.
Currently, if you change any values after the clustering, it will become static.
Oh, it's just the next thing?
Yeah.
And, okay. Yes, okay. It makes sense.
Yep. Any more questions? Cool. Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.